Hello everybody, it's jrobichess. We got another chess Grandmaster Tactics here for you today. This was a match played between Bobby Fischer and W. Birch in 1963, and it was a very, very good match, very well played by Fischer. Fischer's playing white, and it's white to move in this position. Black has just fianchettoed the bishop onto g7. Now Fischer came up with a very nice line that was just a beautiful attacking line here, and so go ahead and pause the video to see if you can see it, and try to think beyond the first couple moves. That's where you'll see where Fischer's plan really comes to light here. But what Fischer does is he comes in and he attacks with the bishop, taking the knight on d5. Black has no choice but to capture back with a pawn in this position, otherwise it just drops a complete piece and most likely another pawn in the move after. So Black captures cx d5, and in this position Fischer plays the brilliant h6. So if we go back to g7 here, Fischer had that bishop idea lined up at this point in time. So he was basically priming the power of this bishop, because you'll notice a couple things about the black position. Number one, currently there's only one defender on e5 protecting this black knight, and that's this bishop. So what Fischer does is he basically changes the position of the board and launches the beautiful h6. Now Black can't capture in this position because capturing that bishop on h6 just leads to a world of problems for Black. We don't even really need to go into those lines to see what happens. So from here, what Birch decided to do, instead of capturing that bishop, is moving the queen to c7. Now this move does two things. First of all, it adds another defender to the knight on e5, but it also protects the bishop on g7. So if Fischer were to now take with the bishop, the queen could just come in and recapture and still be protecting e5. But Fischer had more on his mind than simply doing anything like that, because after Black played that good move, seemingly good move, queen to c7, Fischer now comes in with a beautiful check. And now we're going to see the full fruition of Fischer's plan. So after knight comes into check, king moves to d8. Now we're going to go over the match first. I'm going to look at a variation here after we get through the match. King to d8. Now Fischer simply comes in now and captures that bishop. Queen captures the knight on d6. Fischer captures knight, and now you can see that there's really nothing that Black can do that's going to stop the rooks from being forked. And in fact, in this position, Black resigned. Now, Black did have an option, however. If we go back to after Fischer captures the bishop, Black had the option of taking the bishop back with the queen. And basically what this would have done is it would have gave Birch a little bit more of a fighting chance in the game, because after the queen did that, Fischer can come in and still take that knight, and the reason is because once the queen captures, Fischer has a nice fork here on the king. King goes to c7, and Fischer can recapture that queen. And in this position, Fischer is material ahead, but definitely not as much material ahead as it would have been going down what happened in the match. So it was definitely interesting tactics from Bobby Fischer. It doesn't matter what line you look at, he comes out a fair bit of material ahead. In the way that the game was played, he came out with a crushing material advantage, and so much so that Black had to resign. But there was this option for Black that could have, it would have still been technically a losing position at the Grandmaster level play, but still, there would have been a smaller chance of success, if we look at the pawn structure and the open files and things of that nature. So in summary, if we're just to look at Fischer's play here, I can't say for exactly sure what he was thinking, but I can definitely notice that his tactics really involved attacking the defender of the e5 knight here, and I think he took some time to think about the mandatory moves that Black would have to play after bishop comes in to take, pawn recaptures, and now at this point in the game, Fischer uses the h6, which basically takes care of the defender altogether, because now there's really not a lot of options for Black, at least none that are good. So really it was a very nice play by Fischer, and once the game progressed here, Fischer just took advantage of that and was able to come in and deliver the final blow with queen to e5. So it was a good match, and like I said, I'm going to put it up on my my blog, and definitely check it out if you guys are interested. So take care, and we'll see you in the next video.